We've learnt that actually it's so valuable to develop that longer term relationship with the students. So our programs are all cohort based, which means that they're part of a community with their peers and they go through that process together. But it's very much about seeing it as a long term investment in those people and very much more about developing the skills and talents of those individuals rather than necessarily the idea itself.
Hello and welcome to the Future of Universities podcast series. My name is Madeline Arkins, Project Officer at UIIN and your host for today. During the 2023 UIIN Conference, we invited Emily Davies, Head of Student Entrepreneurship at the University of Exeter, to discuss how their programs empower students to take their ideas from theory to real-world success. Join us as we discover the importance of fostering an entrepreneurial mindset and learn how the University of Exeter encourages a diverse student community to embrace entrepreneurship. Hello, I'm with Emily Davies, Head of Student Entrepreneurship at the University of Exeter. Thanks for joining me, Emily.
Thanks for having me.
To start off, could I ask you a bit about your role?
Yes, so I lead the extracurricular entrepreneurship activity at the University of Exeter. So we've got two campuses, one up in Exeter and then another in Falmouth in Cornwall. And we deliver our programmes for all students across all faculties, disciplines and at all levels of study, from undergraduate through postgraduate and up to 3 years from graduation. And we run pre-incubation and incubation programmes that are designed to enable students and recent graduates to explore and develop and test their ideas and hopefully try and launch new ventures.
What role in your mind does an entrepreneurial mindset play? What is the importance of that for you?
I think when there's so much uncertainty about what jobs might even exist in the near future, let alone the more distant future, I think just having that entrepreneurial mindset, it's partly about adaptability and confidence and creativity and self-efficacy and being able to feel empowered to recognise challenges and then look at how you could creatively address those challenges and try and find solutions. So I think adaptability and creativity are two massive things that are part of that sort of entrepreneurial mindset and skill set.
What sort of support structures do you offer then in the pre-incubation and incubation programs?
We have an inspiration talk series which we bring in speakers and entrepreneurs from all sorts of different industries and at different stages of their journey to provide inspiration, trying to make sure that we also offer students a really diverse range of role models so that they don't think that entrepreneurship only looks one particular way. And then once they have an idea or even have been able to identify a problem or a challenge that they're interested in addressing, then they can apply to our pre-incubator programme. And that runs over 8 weeks and it's a series of interactive, really practical workshops that my team deliver, interspersed with the inspiration talks. And that's designed to take them from that idea phase all the way through to market validation. So trying to understand that sort of problem, solution, fit. And then at the end of the programme they can apply for £500 of market validation funding to go out and make their prototypes and MVPs and test and validate the idea. And then once they've done that they can apply to the next phase, which is the incubator programme, and that's designed to take them from market validation all the way through to launching. And at the end of that programme they get to pitch for another £3,500 to go out there and try to build their venture.
Okay, it's extensive then, it sounds. We follow them through the whole journey, it seems.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that's really important to me about our programmes is that we've learnt that actually it's so valuable to develop that longer term relationship with the students. So our programmes are all cohort based, which means that they're part of a community with their peers and they go through that process together. But it's very much about seeing it as a long term investment in those people and very much more about developing the skills and talents of those individuals rather than necessarily the idea itself. And if you can work with somebody over 6, 12, 18 months, then actually there's so much more opportunity for them to learn and to try and influence maybe the way that they're approaching the development of their business idea. So yeah.
I know one thing that is often said about entrepreneurship when you're in that early stage, one is funding is huge obviously, and another is having a network and the cultural capital of knowing people and mentors who can help you along. How do you or the University of Exeter envision facilitating that collaboration or network for students?
We have the inspiration talks where we bring speakers in and we always have opportunity for the students to meet the speakers and to ask the questions that they would like to know the answers to directly from them. We also run demo nights, so that's in collaboration with our colleagues who work out at Exeter Science Park and run our accelerator programmes. And demo nights we've actually just recently got them back up and running, but they're this opportunity to bring together students and graduates and also members from the wider business community in and around Exeter. And the purpose of it is that it gives people a chance to come and pitch for 5 minutes about either an idea or a business that is already up and running, and ask the audience for feedback or contacts or connections. And I think that really has been really valuable in giving the students opportunity to see what else is happening in the region, not just in Exeter itself, but from a bit wider around Exeter as well.
Another question that I had, before you were in this role, you were also part of the global employability team, yes. And then also began at the University of Exeter as student startup manager. So it seems like you have been placed a lot to understand the vantage point of students. I'm wondering, from your perspective, what are some, even from like students who go into the pre-incubator or incubator program, what do you think are some key challenges that they face on that journey, or what are some pain points that are particularly significant to you?
I've worked in higher education for quite a long time, and I think for me the drive to want to work with young people was that I want young people to know that they have opportunity to try things and to figure out what they enjoy and what they're good at and where their strengths are, perhaps where their weaknesses are, and what they can improve. And I think building their confidence has been a really important thing for me. I think particularly trying to encourage more women to get involved with the programme, because I think when I started it was predominantly white and male, as it is with many entrepreneurship programmes. And we were going out and talking to female students and saying, why are you not interested in the programme, or would you like to come and join us? And I think overwhelmingly that confidence is a massive in whether people think they're worried that maybe their idea isn't good enough, or that they might even be already running a business but don't recognise that they are already being entrepreneurial and they are business owners. And so I think trying to find ways, creating safe and supported spaces in which people can feel comfortable to share things that they're proud of, but also to talk about the challenges that they're facing, or to ask questions that they think like a stupid question or an obvious question, but saying there's no stupid questions. This is a space in which we all are trying to learn together. So I think that's been a really important part of how we try to support the students and encourage a more diverse community of students to join our programmes.
I was curious about what sort of business or business ideas come out of the student entrepreneurship programmes. Is there any particular fields that you see as really emerging amongst students as being popular?
Yeah, I think what's been really reassuring is how naturally the students are being purposeful and considering sustainability, considering their impact on the environment, on their communities, and I think wanting to do things where they feel a sense of purpose and of trying to make a positive impact. So we've got a student who started a menswear company, but manufacturing everything in the UK and being really conscious about all the stages of the process and trying to support other local UK-based manufacturing and suppliers. And there's another student who has started outdoor adventure wellbeing days for employees, because he's recognising that people were really struggling with their sort of physical and mental health in the workplace and feeling a lack of community. And I think just ideas that are coming through where people genuinely want to make a positive difference. And I think that feels really good that we're not having to push that at the students, that that's where they want to be and that's what they want to try and do. So
they're doing it organically.
Yeah.
You had mentioned earlier so much of what we learn, so many of the jobs that exist today may not exist in 5-10 years. Some jobs that we have never imagined will probably exist. How does the programs at the University of Exeter remain relevant in terms of the entrepreneurial offerings that they teach students? Does that change?
I think I encourage our team to try and at least be aware of things that are coming through, in particular sort of industry trends or tech development. But I think also we recognise that we can't be experts about absolutely everything. And so I think it's important that we have a strong network of people that we can draw in to come and, whether it's featuring at our inspiration talks or coming to give guest workshops as part of the incubator programme, that actually can bring in different types of expertise and knowledge and insight. But I think with the students, for us it's much more about developing them as individuals and the broad entrepreneurial skill set and mindset, so that it probably won't be this idea that they're developing through the programme that they will go on to do when they graduate. but that they will have that toolkit to be able to develop another idea or to go away and get some experience and then come back to doing something entrepreneurial in 2 years' time or 5 years' time or in a decade. And so I think in that sense, we are trying to respond to where the students are and what they're interested in and what types of businesses do they think are going to be businesses of tomorrow. And so, yeah, I think it's that kind of two-way process. We're learning from the students, but we're also trying to make sure that we bring them the skills and expertise that they need.
And so many of those transversal entrepreneurial skills, I think, will probably remain constant regardless.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think it's so transferable. I think there's so much value in the skills that you can develop, and I think even creating a space within the university where it is very practical. It's just hands-on and it's real world, and it's saying that we're taking you seriously as young adults who have ideas, and we want to give you support and a bit of funding and take you seriously and give you the chance to do this for real, not in a sort of theoretical way. I think that's also been really valuable for a lot of the students to feel that they're being taken seriously and that there's people that want to back them and give them the opportunities to succeed.
Thank you for listening to the discussion. Follow UIN on LinkedIn, and if you're enjoying our podcast, make sure to subscribe, rate, and review on your podcast platform of choice to help others find this content too.